Imagine this, end of a long day, and you just melt into warm, bubbling water right there in your own backyard. It's that personal oasis idea, isn't it? Maybe you've thought about a hot tub, but then you think about the cost, the hassle of installation, maybe just how permanent it all feels. Well, today on The Deep Dive, we're plunging into a product that promises exactly that dream, but with a bit of a twist. It's the Coleman Bahamas AirJet Inflatable Outdoor Round Hot Tub. So our mission here is to really unpack everything you need to know about this portable spa. We'll look at its core features, get a handle on the benefits, and then, this is key, we'll dive into what actual customers are saying. You know, the good stuff, the glowing reviews, but also those practical insights, the things you only learn from actually using it. We will even help you figure out if this could be, well, your next favorite way to unwind.
Exactly. And to give you that really solid picture, we haven't just, skimmed the surface. We've gone deep into the detailed specs, the manufacturer's claims, and importantly, a whole bunch of direct customer reviews. So we can offer you a pretty comprehensive, balanced, and unbiased look.
Yeah, and what's really interesting here, I think, is how this isn't just some basic inflatable pool trying to be a hot tub. There seem to be some genuinely smart design choices, like certain features for dealing with colder weather, which is surprising. And people keep talking about how easy the setup is. It kind of challenges what you might expect.
Definitely.
So, okay, we've set the stage. But before we really get into the weeds, what exactly is the Coleman Bahamas AirJet Inflatable Hot Tub? Like the basics.
Right. So at its heart, it's designed as an inflatable outdoor round hot tub. The big emphasis is on easy setup in your own backyard. Think convenience. Size-wise, it's 71 inches by 26 inches. That's about 1.80 meters by 66 centimeters. Holds 177 gallons of water, filled to about 80% capacity. Now, they market it for 2 to 4 people.
Yes, the classic capacity question.
Exactly. That's definitely something we'll circle back to when we talk about what users actually found.
Right. Fits 4 often means fits 2 comfortably, 3 if you're okay with bumping knees.
Pretty much. But what's really interesting here, and maybe part of that surprising twist you mentioned, is the background of this product. This isn't just some generic inflatable. Soluspa, the original manufacturer behind this line, they're actually credited with making the world's first premium portable spa.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they've got over a decade of engineering innovation specifically in this area. So you're not just getting a pool toy, you're getting something built on years of development focused on portable spas. Durability, smart design, that kind of thing, but in a portable package.
Okay, so it's got some history, some real thought behind it. So what's the core promise then? What's it trying to deliver?
The core promise is really about providing a soothing massage experience that's genuinely quick and easy to set up and enjoy. It heats up to 104 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 40 Celsius. It's all about bringing that authentic hot tub feeling home, but, without the permanent fixture.
Gotcha. Okay, so with that foundation, let's talk specifics. What are the features and design choices that really make this thing work? What elevates it beyond just being inflatable? Let's dive into those core features.
Okay, well, let's start with the main event, right? The soothing massage system. It has 120 AirJets, these release bubbles from the bottom of the spa. Now, 120 sounds like a lot, but what users seem to appreciate isn't just the number, it's the overall effect it creates, this warm, bubbling, really relaxing environment. It's important to note, though, this is more about gentle, ambient relaxation, not like a deep, powerful jet massage you'd get in a hard shell tub. And controlling it is super straightforward. There's a digital panel, easy to reach right from the tub.
Okay, that distinction, soothing versus deep tissue, that's a good expectation to set. What about the actual build? You hear inflatable, and I gotta admit, flimsy kind of pops into my head. Yeah. How does this one stack up?
Yeah, that's a fair point, and probably the biggest hurdle for inflatables. But this is where the Coleman Bahamas seems to really stand out. The durability and construction are major selling points. The outer wall uses this 3-layer Tritech material. And that's not just marketing fluff, it's a reinforced PVC material. They've stress tested it. And it's apparently 33% more tear resistant, and get this, 56% more stretch resistant than standard PVC.
Wow, okay.
So that multi-layer design gives it really good resistance against stretching, punctures, helps it keep its shape even after you inflate and deflate it multiple times. Plus, it comes with a reinforced cover that That helps hold the heat in when you're not using it and keeps dust and leaves and stuff out.
It definitely changes the picture from pool toy.
Yeah.
So it sounds tough, but how easy is it to actually get running once you've got it out of the box?
Right. The ease of setup and convenience. This is where a lot of users really seem happy. It includes this spa pump unit that basically does everything. It inflates the spa quickly, it heats the water, runs the filtration, and it controls the massage system, all from one unit. And a neat little touch, the pump unit actually has built-in cup holders, so you can keep your drink right there.
Huh, practical.
Yeah. And beyond that, you've got the integrated water filter system and also a ChemConnect dispenser that's designed to evenly spread chlorine or bromine tablets to help keep the water chemistry balanced and healthy.
The cup holders is surprisingly appealing, I won't lie.
Yeah.
But, okay, thinking about different climates, an inflatable tub in winter, does it just become a very large, very inconvenient ice cube?
That's a huge question, right? And this is where another key feature comes in. The innovative winterizing technology. They call it freeze shielded. It's basically an automatic heating function. If the temperature drops too low, it kicks in automatically to keep the water temperature between about 42 and 50 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 6 to 10 Celsius.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so it prevents the internal parts, the pump, the liner itself from freezing and getting damaged. It's a really big deal if you live somewhere with actual winters and want to potentially use it, or at least not worry about it year-round. Extends its usability quite a bit.
So you don't necessarily have to drain it the second the frost hits. That's pretty smart, actually. And speaking of smart, how does it manage power, especially if it's potentially running that freeze shield in cold weather?
Good point. It also has a power-saving timer. This lets you basically schedule when you want the spa to heat up. You can set the temperature up to 40 days in advance, so you can plan for it to be hot when you get home from work, for example, without having it run at full heat constantly. Helps manage that energy use a bit more effectively.
Makes sense. And on the topic of power, safety is always a concern.
Yeah.
Anything specific there?
Absolutely. Electrical safety is crucial, especially with water involved. Our sources mention a ground detection system. It's usually part of the GFCI plug, that's the ground fault circuit interrupter. This system basically checks that the outlet you're plugging into is properly grounded. It adds an extra layer of protection against electrical faults. And the manual is apparently very clear on this. Never use an extension cord or multi-plug adapter. That's standard advice for hydro appliances. They also say to check the plug and socket for damage regularly.
Right, good standard practice. Okay, just to complete the picture, what do you actually get in the box when you buy this? And what about the warranty?
Sure. So in the box, you get the spa itself, the inflatable part. You get that reinforced cover. You get the pump unit that does all the work.
Right.
One ChemConnect dispenser for the chemicals. One filter cartridge. It uses the standard VI type. And they even throw in a repair patch just in case. As for the warranty, it's 180 days on the spa liner itself and a full year, 365 days on the spa pump.
Okay, comprehensive. So we've laid out the features, the specs, the tech behind it.
Yeah.
But how does it all translate to the real world? What are people actually experiencing? This is where we get into the customer feedback, right? And the overall rating is pretty strong, 4.5 out of 5 stars from, 128 ratings, 76 verified reviews.
Yeah, that's a very positive signal overall. And, while loads of users seem genuinely delighted, their reviews are gold because they also give you those crucial real-world nuances, what to really expect from an inflatable hot tub.
Right.
It's all about managing those expectations.
Absolutely. So let's break it down. Let's start with the pros, the things people really loved based on those verified buyers. First up, setup is a breeze. Seems like a major highlight.
Definitely.
We saw one Walmart customer said assembly was a breeze after watching a few YouTube videos. Someone named Sarah apparently put it together herself in about 40 minutes. That's pretty quick. And Jeffrey had it set up and filling in just a few hours. That convenience factor seems huge.
It really does. And linked to that is the value for money. That comes up again and again. People feel like they're getting a lot for the price. Lindsay called it the best purchase. Someone named Derek was very impressed with this for the price. It seems to hit that sweet spot of affordability and experience.
And the experience itself, the relaxation, those 120 bubbles seem to do the trick for many.
Yeah, the effective relaxation surprised people. That same Walmart customer said, I wasn't expecting a lot from the 120 bubble makers, but was pleasantly surprised. And Jeffrey, who set it up fast, also said, this tub is awesome. Best money I ever spent. Highly recommend. So that core function, the soaking and bubbling, seems to deliver.
And what about that fancy Tritech material? Does it hold up?
Seems like it. The durability gets good mentions too. Ashley found it very durable and made out of quality material. Sarah, who set it up herself, noted material is great quality and seems like it will hold up well. So that engineering we talked about, it seems to translate into a sturdy feel for users.
Okay, good. And finally, on the pros side, heat performance. We touched on this, it takes time, but does it get hot enough?
Yes, with that caveat about time, it does reach those target temps even when it's cool out. Remember,
Okay.
Jeffrey, he reported it went from 64 degrees water temp up to 101 in about 7 hours, and that was with the outside air in the high 30s Fahrenheit.
Right.
So it works, it gets there. You just need to plan ahead a bit for that initial heat up or reheating. Patience is needed.
Okay, so mostly positive vibes. But for a balanced view, we absolutely need to look at the other side. What are the cons and considerations that people brought up? These are just as important for deciding if it's right for you.
Absolutely. And probably the most common point, the biggest thing to understand is the temperature drop with bubbles.
Yeah.
Lindsay put it perfectly. The tub holds the heat as long as the bubbles aren't going. Otherwise, it'll drop about a degree every 5 minutes.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, because those AirJets are pulling in outside air. If it's a cool evening, that air cools the water down. Derek had a good tip. Heat it maybe a degree or two above your target temp before you turn on the bubbles, run them for a bit, then turn them off to let it recover.
So it's a trade-off then. Bubbles for a while or sustained maximum heat, especially when it's chilly. And what about the time it takes to get hot in the first place? That heat up time seemed to bother some people.
It did. It can be a significant wait. Sarah mentioned 15 or so hours to reach 104 degrees. For some folks, that's just too long. We saw one review from Big A who actually returned it because the heat up time was way too long for their liking.
Okay, so if you're looking for a quick, spontaneous dip after work, you need to have planned ahead with the timer.
Precisely. And then there's the capacity reality, that 2-4-person label.
Yeah, how does that shake out in practice?
Well, most users found it comfortable for 2 people. Maybe 3, if you don't mind being cozy. Lindsay felt 3 people in this might be a squeeze. And Sarah confirmed, it fits my husband and I comfortably. 3-4 people would fit, just would be a little tight for legroom.
Right. So think intimate soak, not pool party.
Exactly. A cozy retreat is a good way to put it.
Any other little quirks? Those AirJets, for instance, are they adjustable?
That came up too. Under AirJet settings, Sarah wished it had at least 2 settings, like a high and low. She noted they just go full blast with no gentler option. And some others echoed that point about the bubbles being relaxing, but not really strong enough for a proper massage. Again, setting expectations.
Right. Soothing ambiance, not hydrotherapy jets. Any other sort of minor hassles people ran into? Practical
A
thing.
few little things. That GFCI plug, the safety plug, it's apparently quite large. Larry pointed out it might need a bit of extra space or even a modification to a standard outdoor electrical box cover to fit properly. Minor, but good to know. One user, Burleson Chick, reported a pump leak early on, but crucially, the company replaced it promptly. So, good customer service there, it seems. And no built-in light, which some might miss, but Lindsay just bought a cheap floating one. Easy fix.
So manageable stuff, mostly. What about keeping the water clean? Is there a steep learning curve for maintenance, especially for newbies?
There is definitely a maintenance learning curve, just like with any hot tub or pool. It's not set and forget. Walmart customer gave good advice. Do your research on the chemicals needed sanitizer, like chlorine or bromine, pH balancers, maybe shark treatments. You need to test the water regularly and add chemicals as needed to keep it clean and safe. It's an ongoing commitment.
Right, not unique to this model, but important for any potential buyer. And the $1,000,000 question, or maybe the $50 a month question, the electrical bill impact.
Yeah, that's always a concern. Rand voiced it perfectly. The electric bill next month is my only worry. Heating water takes energy, no way around it. How much it adds will depend hugely on your climate, how often you use it, what temperature you keep it at, and especially if you're using that free shield function through colder months. It's a running cost to factor into the budget.
Okay, so we've heard the good, the bad, the practical. Taking all of that into account, who is this Coleman Bahamas really for? Who's the ideal person or family for this hot tub?
Well, I think it's perfectly suited for you if you're looking for an affordable entry point into that hot tub experience. You want the relaxation, the warmth, but without the huge upfront cost. The complex installation or, the permanence of digging up your yard for a traditional tub.
Right. It lowers that barrier to entry significantly. And it sounds ideal for couples or maybe small families, keeping that, let's say, 2-3 person comfort level in mind. Someone who wants a nice relaxing soak in their backyard but doesn't need a giant party tub.
Exactly. And if you value portability and easy setup, that's a huge plus here. The ability to put it up, take it down, maybe store it for the winter if you choose not to use Free Shield, or even move it to a different spot. That flexibility is a big draw for some.
Definitely. And crucially, it's for someone who's willing to manage the water chemistry, again, that's non-negotiable for any hot tub, and who understands the nuances we talked about.
Yes, understanding that temperature might dip a bit with the bubbles on, knowing the heat up time requires planning, going in with those realistic expectations is key. But that said, the Free Shield feature really is a game changer if you're in a place with colder winters. It genuinely makes year-round use a possibility without constant worry.
That's a really important point. Oh, and one very practical thing we need to mention, shipping restrictions.
Yeah.
The specific model isn't available everywhere in the U.S.
That's right. As of our research, it can't be sold in California, Oregon, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Maine, New Jersey, New York, Nevada, Washington State, Maryland, Washington, D.C., and Hawaii.
Well, quite a list.
Yeah, likely due to state-level energy efficiency regulations for spas. So if you're in one of those states, you'd need to look for a similar model, perhaps from Bestway, who actually owns the Sluispa brand now, that specifically meets those energy requirements, often meaning it comes with a more energy-efficient cover. Otherwise, your order might just get canceled.
Okay, that's critical info for potential buyers in those areas. So wrapping things up then, what's the final verdict here?
You know, looking at the big picture, the Coleman Bahamas AirJet really strikes a compelling balance. It's about convenience, relaxation, and value. Is it the same as a $5,000 acrylic spa? No, of course not. But for an inflatable unit, it consistently seems to deliver a satisfying experience that, frankly, exceeds a lot of people's expectations for what an inflatable hot tub can be.
Yeah, it sounds like it really delivers on that core promise. An easy-to-set-up, warm, bubbling escape. It's made with surprisingly tough materials. It has smart features like that Free Shield. You just need to go in with your eyes open about, heat retention when the bubbles are blasting and maybe how many friends you can comfortably squeeze in.
Absolutely. And it does raise an interesting thought, doesn't it? How innovations like Free Shield, or maybe even better insulation in future models, are starting to bridge that gap between affordable, convenient products and the kind of premium features you used to only find in high-end permanent installations. It feels like these kinds of relaxing, almost luxury experiences are becoming much more accessible.
That's a great point. It'll be interesting to see where that goes. Okay, well, that wraps up our deep dive into the Coleman Bahamas AirJet Inflatable Hot Tub. We really hope this has given you a clear, comprehensive picture of what this product offers and maybe helped you decide if it's the right fit for your relaxation goals. If this sounds like it could be the perfect addition to your backyard setup, you can find the Coleman Bahamas AirJet Inflatable Hot Tub, learn more, check those shipping restrictions again, all by clicking the link right there in the description below. Thanks so much for diving deep with us today.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Until next time.
We rise like tall